Welcome once again to some more Red Dead Redemption 2 tips and tricks on Facts with Filbee. Just before we head in, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who contributed towards the making of this video. Without your input, this wouldn't have been possible. I've previously asked the viewers that if they could think of any tips I may have missed in past videos to let me know in the comment section, and you wonderful people have done exactly that, and I hope you guys know how much I appreciate it. A lot of people have told me that even though they've enjoyed multiple playthroughs, each time they are still discovering new things, so whether it's your first or your fifth time playing, you may find something here you didn't know. With that being said, please note that this is not necessarily a beginner's guide, so please be aware that there will be spoilers ahead. And also for viewers who stick around until the end, there will be an additional bonus tip. So without any more delay, here are 10 Red Dead Redemption 2 tips and tricks from my absolutely amazing viewers. Kicking things off with number 1, this tip comes from Mr. Main Event. Although very common to find, the bluegill fish won't net you much of a profit if you decide to sell it. This may fluctuate depending on your current honour level, but I was quoted a measly 75 cents. It is much more profitable to mix it with berries at the crafting station, which will create the potent predator bait, then use said bait to lure yourself a much more profitable kill. Tip number 2 today is courtesy of Mr. Nobody. He graciously informs us that a lot of in-game loot will regenerate over time, giving us an endless supply. I'm not exactly sure of how often this reproduces, but I've tested this myself with the gold bar at the abandoned town of Limpany, and it definitely does work. Which is good news for us, because that particular gold bar will bring you home a whopping $500. In at number 3, Bonko Boy teaches us something about the clothing storage system that I certainly haven't realised myself. As we know, your horse can carry up to either 3 or 5 outfits depending on the quality of your saddlebags, but what the game doesn't tell you is that if you modify your current outfit, it will replace or delete the currently stored one. This can happen by simply changing gloves, picking up a hat from the ground, or just buying a new clothing item at the store. Number 4. Being able to fish in Red Dead Redemption 2 is a favourite pastime by many, and of course most gamers look forward to completing the mission of Fisher of Men, where you finally acquire the fishing rod. But now, thanks to 2 serious dogs, we've learned that we don't need to wait as long as we think. If you see an NPC fishing, you can simply take his rod by force, which will store it permanently in your inventory. A better honour rating system will grant you a few different perks, mainly cheaper items in store. So at number 5, thanks to MT, they discovered the quickest way to gain maximum honour was to walk around Saint Denis on account of it being the busiest area in the game, and simply greet everyone who passes you by. This took them around 2 hours.
Decent town you got here. Hey, mister. Mais bonjour.
Number 6 on today's list is a second tip from Mr. Nobody. Did you know that you could craft particular items without ever having to leave your horse? Most people stop and make camp, but it's not always necessary. From your steed, you can craft a multitude of ammunition, plus throwing weapons, and of course, ailments for you and your horse. This is a good way to save time. Earlier on at number 4, we spoke about how to acquire the fishing rod early in game. But did you know that you can just simply use your horse? Thanks to Clean Shirt, we now know how to. Treading through waters while mounting will allow your horse to easily trot on a fish, and all you have to do yourself is simply scoop them up. I personally would suggest doing this in shallow streams where the water is pretty calm. Coming in at number 8, Mr. Main Event helps us out once more. In one of the earlier missions, a hunting trip with Hosea Matthews titled Exit Pursued by a Bruised Ego as you take down a legendary bear. During this mission, Hosea gives you a map pinpointing all of the other legendary animals in the game. Hunting down these animals will earn you specific items which, when taken to a fence, can be crafted into trinkets that give you a helpful kick, especially early on, including health experience, storage capacity and damage protection.
Look at this.
Number 9 in our video will not only save us money, but will give us a better advantage against our foes. And it comes from a gamer called Tusker, who just happens to be a Scouser too. Bullet damage is a very important factor in gaining the upper hand on our enemies. But did you know that even though the high velocity rounds are more expensive, the express bullets will produce more damage? It took Tusker until his second playthrough to realise this, and it took me until he commented, so thank you. At number 10, a simple yet great animation in the game is to have the ability to spin your gun back into its holster. I have covered this in a previous video, but did you know, with thanks to a man with no name, that this feature will only work from your right hand side holster? Just a small tip, but a very handy one. And for the record, this only will work with short weapons such as pistols and revolvers. And of course, as promised to those who stuck around, the bonus tip. Once again, Mongo Boy is helping us out, and he's given us a feature that, although a lot of people may know, it seems that some have not spotted this. When customizing your clothing, did you know you can modify the neat details in the submenu? These options include having your shirt sleeves rolled up, wearing pants either tucked in or over your boots, and your shirt collar either open or buttoned. So there we go, that was episode 8 of Facts with Filbee. I just want to say thank you again to everybody who contributed. This wouldn't have been possible without any of you. There were several comments that I couldn't include because I'd already covered those tips in other videos, but thank you all the same. I hope you guys at least learned a couple of things you didn't know, and as always, if you know of any I may have missed, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe too, and if you want to get in touch, my social media links are below. And with that being said, thank you all for making it to the end, and I hope to see you guys in episode 9.
Okay.